We do have Republican Senator from North Dakota, that is Kevin Cramer. Senator, thank you so much for coming on, and we appreciate you taking the time on this subject matter that is very important to millions of veterans. Talk to me about this. I believe you voted no on this. Plainly asked, why?
Yeah, so important point. I'm actually on the Veteran Affairs Committee with Senator Tester, who's the chairman. And one of the first problems is that Senator Tester and the Democratic leadership breached a deal that we had to allow amendment votes on the burn pit legislation. I support it. I support the final passage of this legislation. But what it did, to put a finer point that's so egregious, is Democrats took $400 billion of discretionary money that's for veterans and moved it over to the mandatory side. Now, it's still $400 billion in total. So it's the 200 plus that you just talked about, plus other existing veterans programs. By putting it in the mandatory side, that means it's no longer subject to the normal appropriations process. And that also leaves a $400 billion funding hole on the discretionary side, which allows Democrats to fill that hole with other pet projects. In other words, it's Democrats who put veterans behind their other pet projects by moving this money over to mandatory. And quite honestly, we are already in a situation where about 2/3 of our budget is, quote, mandatory, which means that the people's representatives in Congress, who are supposed to have oversight, supposed to have authorization authority, are supposed to have appropriating authority, are really, they're really hamstrung, if you will, by this process. So Senator Toomey's absolutely right on point. I support the legislation. I just don't support this process that moves discretionary money to the mandatory side of the ledger so they can fill the discretionary side with other pet projects.
But you could imagine veterans that have served overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan back in the Vietnam era, that have sacrificed their lives for us to be here today, are watching you and I have a conversation about, certain pieces of this bill when all they want to do is get health care. Hey, stop all this back and forth. Get us the health care that we need. What do you say to them? Not necessarily to Democrats or Republicans, but how do you explain this back and forth to veterans?
Well, it's a great point, because they have become a political pawn in the Democrats' scheme to put more money on the mandatory side of the ledger so they can spend more money on climate change and Green New Deals and all kinds of other pet projects, rather than on the veterans themselves. And by the way, this is all non-military discretionary money. So they've become pawns in their game. They are going to get this bill. This bill will pass eventually. But we didn't pass the motion to proceed to the measure, the cloture, if you will, because we want to fix the bill and make it better both for veterans and better for taxpayers. Now, this isn't anything new, but one other thing I would add up to that is that the Veteran Affairs themselves have said that they're going to have a very difficult time providing that health care, because there's already a backlog of services for veterans in the VA system. This is going to add a whole bunch more. In fact, it's going to put a lot of other people to the back of an already very long line. My preference would be if we had major overhauls of the VA system so that the VA was providing the resources so veterans can get care as quickly as possible where they can get it, the most available to them, rather than creating this backlog in a bureaucracy that's already unresponsive and far too.
I know I have other things to get to with you, and I will. I want to stay in this moment, if I can, just for a second here. You claim that this bill will pass. You know, as well as anyone else, that the timing of veterans needing health care assistance is now. It's not tomorrow. It's now. The Senate is heading into recess. You say the bill is going to get passed. Is that going to happen before recess?
It could happen as early as Tuesday of next week if Chuck Schumer and the Democrats would drop this idea of creating a $400 billion hole in the discretionary budget so that they can pack it with a bunch of other stuff. It could, if they give us what they promised they would give us, by the way, in the committee, and that is amendment votes. We didn't even have an amendment vote on this. This thing could pass very, very quickly. I believe it will. It's too important not to.
All right. I'll move on. to this next part here. I've got a limited amount of time with you. This other bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, if I can, the $739 billion Inflation Reduction Act. We have a breakdown here of it. A lot of this comes, the bill would be paid for through the 15% corporate minimum tax there, and there's a breakdown for you. But there's more money for the ACA. The sticking point for this is the climate initiative of $370 billion. Again, the spending, the taxing, it's all, as the Democrats say, to reduce inflation. There has been some opinions on this, including President Obama back in 2010 saying raising taxes at a time of inflation is not the thing to do. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this.
Well, if you and I hired a whole bunch of economists to come up with a dumber idea during inflation, they couldn't have come up with this one. I mean, increased taxes, not just increased taxes on job creators. That 15% minimum tax, that's not just a tax increase. And by the way, it's hardest hit on energy companies and others that are already suffering from inflation and adding to inflation as a result of it. But it changes the way we tax businesses altogether. We don't even know what a minimum tax is, but what it sounds like is that instead of an income tax, you're going to have this minimum tax, which means that companies aren't going to be able to deduct things that they were previously able to deduct, or if they do, they have to deduct it over years. So, remember in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we accelerated the opportunity for companies to expense their investments. This takes that away. It is absolutely anti what we ought to be doing. It is going to accelerate inflation, more spending, more taxes, and then a whole bunch of spending on things that are unnecessary.
Were you surprised by Senator Manchin's pivot?
I was. As much as I love Joe, and I do, and I know him well, I know that he has a hard time disappointing his colleagues on all sides, but this was a very abrupt and a very dramatic change away from things that he had been previously saying. So I'd like to say I was shocked, but I wasn't necessarily shocked, but I was surprised at the abruptness of it.
Final thoughts on from you on this, something close to you, your bill on the Unborn Child Support Act. Talk to us about that. We have it on our screen here. This, again, allowing pregnant mothers to receive child support. A brief explainer and where that is. Have you gotten support for it?
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of Republican support for it. And interestingly, we're starting to hear from more liberal organizations and individuals who have a hard time arguing against the compassion that's in this bill. What we're saying is if we as pro-life advocates, and I am one, believe in compassion for everybody in this scenario, including the mothers, and we do, then we ought to make sure that if we believe life begins at conception, that life is protected in every way possible, including child support from the father. And by the way, that's not just a burden on the father, that's a blessing for the father to be able to be involved in this child's life. And so we're just simply saying, and by the way, I introduced this in the last Congress as well. It wasn't nearly as big a deal because of course the Dobbs decision hadn't come down. But yeah, there are actually liberals looking at it and going, yeah, actually that makes sense. If we're going to allow abortion, or in some cases, not disallow, we're going to promote life, I should maybe be a better way to say it, then we ought to promote health as well. And so to me, it makes sense. I do think it's the kind of thing that has the opportunity to gain support from people on all sides. It's just a, frankly, rather pragmatic solution to the situation we find ourselves in after the Dobbs decision.
All right, that is U.S. Senator from North Dakota, Kevin Cramer, who did take the time to step up to the plate on those questions. We do appreciate that, Senator.
Always my pleasure.
You got it.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group. But first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373. 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.